You're making a run at it, aren't you? Rolling up a stake and going to Vegas.
Welcome to the #1 poker radio show in the world. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. 1 full hour of poker news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody, and after an extra day off, I got tickets to Comic-Con. What am I going to do? Believe it or not, as much as you guys know, I'm a comic geek. I've never gone to a Comic-Con. And I'm going to say this about Comic-Cons. And I'm just going to throw this one out there. You know, we all guys, you know, kind of have the, gee, I wish my girl was like Wonder Woman. But I got to say this. I have to go back and look who created the Batman villain Poison Ivy. Because whoever did, God bless their soul. Oh my God, I had a great time over there, and some inspiring stuff from John Barrowman, who plays Malcolm Merlin on Arrow, and of course also was Captain Jack on Doctor Who. Got to hear him speak for a while. What a guy he is. I'll tell you what, I wish I had a chance to meet him. It was just getting near the guy was next to impossible without buying a ton of VIP tickets. But I had an awesome time over there, and you know, thanks to Chad for dragging me over there, even though I didn't get to see Chad. Apparently, Chad had an interesting night the night before, but we'll just leave it at that. Lot going on here at the World Series. It seems a little slow around here, and I'm not saying that in a punny type sense, because we do have the Super Seniors tournament kicking off and playing today. But there is some serious action in the Amazon room right now. The kids are playing hard up there. Jesse Sylvia right now with 5 left, trying to win his first World Series of Poker bracelet, has a massive rail. And Daniel Negreanu is also up there in the Amazon room in the final 11 of the 7-card stud tournament. So there is a lot going on up there. Day 3 of the seniors, so much playing out right now. So, you know, we're going to keep our eyes on that. Some controversy with the Player of the Year award going on. We've also, I mean, geez, there's just stories all over the place. It's unbelievable. And, you know, we're going to get to, we want to get this guy on here. He's just a darling, cuddle little fuzzball over here. Robbie Straczynski from Card Player Lifestyle. How you doing, Robbie? What's up?
I'm doing good, Mark. Thanks for having me on the show.
I bobbled that opening, too. I had that ready to go, and I blew it, but that's all right. That's all right.
Well, I've been called a lot worse than a fuzzball, so
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You're a harmless, lovable little fuzzball like me.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
No problem. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Having some fun over here. Enjoying the Super Seniors. I'm praying to God my cameras don't get run over. I've got barricades around them today. But there are a lot of scooters flying around. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I think I just saw Chad Holloway counted like 17 of them.
Oh, there's a lot. It's yeah, but I'll tell you what, they're having a lot of fun down here, and it's a pretty exciting event, and glad to see the another level of seniors are getting a chance to have a good time and see what they can do. I think they just made the Super Seniors tournament to screw everybody else that was running seniors events.
Right, like, oh man, I'm 64 and a half. Like those guys,
Yeah.
But I heard Doyle is going to make an appearance, like in about an hour or so.
That is a possibility. Of course, the 50K Players Championship is coming off, starting later this afternoon as well. I'm hearing rumor that Phil Ivey is going to be in the building today too. He hasn't showed up here yet. Robbie, can you believe that?
Well, I think he understands, or his people, whatever, understand the amazing part of making a grand entrance, like all this kind of stuff. Oh, all the rumors. Oh, maybe he's gonna play, maybe he won't play. It piques people's interest. So it keeps us interested. And if we already know he's gonna show up, okay, fine. But the whole rumor mill flying, I think it gets people excited. And if he does show up, oh wow, it's so cool. And everyone who picked him in the fantasy draft is all gonna be real happy and stuff.
Yeah, they're probably ticked he hasn't been here yet. That's for sure.
Well, I guess that's probably why he didn't, exactly go for like whatever it was, $150 like he normally does in the draft. But listen, there's money to be made in Macau, so I guess he needs to be much more motivated to win those bracelets here in Vegas.
Well, you do what you got to do. And by the way, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I hope you're all having a great Father's Day. Of course, many of you down here at the Rio and having a great time, and so wish you guys all the best out there on that. But aside from Father's Day, Robbie, we've got another day that this is, and of course, it's ALS Awareness Day, and you put up a great piece. And I got to tell you, I mean, this was a very touching article that you wrote about your good friend Gal Sant. And you want to tell everybody a little bit about the article and what's going on with Gal?
Sure. Well, my friend's his name is Gal Sant. He lives here in Israel, where I live as well. I met him about 9 years ago. We used to work together for a startup company. Very intelligent guy. He's got a degree in mathematics and computer sciences. Always into like motorcycling, snowboarding, kite surfing, a whole bunch of interesting stuff. Got to be really good friends with him. While we were there, I introduced him to what it's to play poker. We played in a couple home games together. We ended up parting ways. The startup didn't exactly succeed. Shortly thereafter, I learned that we kept in touch due to poker and everything. Shortly thereafter, I learned that Gal had been diagnosed with ALS. And, when you sort of see someone, in his full with his full strength and going full blast, and all of a sudden you see slowly a deterioration. It's something which is very difficult, and he continued joining us and playing poker with us in our little home game here. At least once in a while he took part in a tournament series, and then it got to be too much for him after a while. I guess it was 2012. I don't remember exactly. I had it in the article when he just simply was not able to participate anymore. Just the drive was too difficult for him because ALS has just weakened him to such an extent. However, his brain didn't stop firing on all cylinders. It's exactly the phrase that I used in the article. He developed a way, a virtual keyboard, whereby just by looking at the keyboard, he can type with his eyes, and whatever language it is, it supports like 60 languages, and he speaks Hebrew and English. And by looking at that keyboard, even if everything else is shutting down, his hands, his arms, his legs, whatever it is, he can still communicate. So he's when he's in front of that virtual keyboard that he created, that he programmed, he is just like everybody else. He is no longer trapped within his body. And how this relates back to poker is, a friend of mine, he came up with this brilliant idea of, hey, it's a little difficult to get everybody all together at the same time to play on like, an online poker software or something, but maybe we could try to do something through Facebook. So my friend, he just, and Gal was like, sure, we could do that. Whenever everyone's ready, they can, show up and make their move and then tag the next guy, just like you tag your friend on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we did. My friend Shimmy, who organized the entire thing, he volunteered to be the dealer. We completely trust him and everything. And, he dealt out the cards, and he dealt with the chip stacks. And, it was a really, really cool thing. And, it's not like we played for tons of money or anything, but it was a matter of holding a home game where he could still participate, in the virtual sense, and the banter was there, all the ribbing and all the needling and everything like that. It was an incredible experience, and I do detail it throughout the article. And then midway through the tournament, goes ahead and blows us away. He's like, guess what, guys? I figured out a way where Shimmy doesn't have to deal out actual cards anymore and then just let us know what our cards are. Random number generator. It'll be your whole cards will be emailed to you. And we're like, what, are you kidding me? And he says, wow. Yeah, I tested it 100 different times. Everything seems to work. And, lo and behold, it did. And it's like this guy who you look at him and, you see, this poor guy who unfortunately is affected by ALS disease. He managed, with his eyes alone to basically create a program which helps you facilitate a virtual poker game online.
Wow, that's
it's absolutely an amazing person. And, the title of the article, it's on my site, cardplayerlifestyle.com. It's called Gal's Game, and Poker Shall Set You Free. And, you read the details of the story there. It's just an incredible story about a remarkable human being.
How exactly does that work? I mean, and with him using his eyes to type on a keyboard. I mean, I think for a lot of us, we just think about that and we're like, my God, how could something like that actually function properly? It would seem like it's an unbelievable technology to figure out, and maybe I'm just a moron or something like that, but but how does something like that actually work?
Well, I'm no tech expert myself, but in general, the technology does exist that you can sort of track where people's eyes go on like a web page and stuff. Like it's called a website heat map, and companies that track how often, how many visitors are on your site and what types of things they're clicking on, they're able to sort of track it in that way. I think it's sort of related. I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm definitely not a tech expert. He has to wear some sort of something or other that on his head or something that tracks his eye movement, sort of like with the brain waves connected. Again, I don't want to say I'm making it up, but it's some sort of device that allows the tracking. But basically the keyboard, because it's virtual, it's not like he's looking like you and I would type into our computers, but it's on the computer screen itself. So I believe there's some sort of a detection when his eyes look at a particular key, that it types that key, and so on and so forth. And obviously, as you get better with it, you can type faster using your eyes. Again, don't quote me on the technology, but that's, I think, a general idea of how it works.
Wow, that is incredible. And obviously, ALS, known as Lou Gehrig's disease, certainly one that when people get it, and people around them see their loved ones having to deal with it, it's just a brutal thing to watch. And for him to be able to found a purpose like this, and this is something that obviously that a lot of people that have this disease and other injuries and and can't use their can't use their limbs and so on, are going to really be able to benefit from something like this. I mean, and
precisely,
and that recreational activity and being able to have a little fun is could be the difference for some people between being able to wake up every day and have something to do and look forward to, and just giving up.
For sure. It really has been great. I mean, he didn't just do it here himself. He founded this company called Click to Speak, the number 2, Click to Speak. And, that's basically the idea. He said, why just for me? There, like you just said, Mark, a whole bunch of people have, unfortunate situations where, they're a little bit immobilized. And, this enables someone to keep on communicating just like, they had been prior to the injury, prior to the disease. And, I don't know, I guarantee that, countless amounts of people have been helped by this virtual keyboard. And again, the fact that it supports 60 languages, it's, ALS is something that affects people worldwide. And I guess, on today, ALS Awareness Day, everyone remembers the Ice Bucket Challenge from a year ago. And, just because people are not pouring ice buckets over their head anymore doesn't mean that we need to stop being aware. And, people who have it obviously live with it every single day. And, this particular story, of course, touched me because he's my friend and I know him for a long time. But I just felt, especially a day like today is a good day to sort of raise the awareness of the poker community about it. And of course, beyond the poker community, just someone who does not give up in the face of adversity and continues to achieve and to inspire.
How's he doing?
He's great. I got to tell you, as a friend, close friend of his, it's difficult to see the deterioration. But on the other hand, I speak to him on a near daily basis, and his will, his just happiness to enjoy the life that he does have. He's got 2 little girls. We talk about today being Father's Day as well. He is just happy to be there, happy to, not be limited, and to have the ability to communicate and to continue contributing, continue inspiring, and happily married. He still goes out. He's immobile, but his wife. I even met them out at a play a couple weeks ago. We went to go and see a play, and we bumped into them. I had no idea he was going to go and be there. He's going and enjoying life. I went a week and a half ago or so. We did a run to try to do some fundraising for ALS. He was there in full force, and it was just unbelievable. He has not, given up or anything close to that. It's exactly the reverse. He's seems to be. I'm sure he has his painful moments and his challenges, but he continues to, just be there and continue to contribute to society.
Well, it's an awesome story, and if you guys haven't checked it out, once again, it's on cardplayerlifestyle.com, and it's /Gall's game and poker shall set you free. That's what you're looking for on there. So make sure you guys check it out, and of course, on day of ALS Awareness Day, take some time to think about it. See if you can make a donation to one of your favorite ALS charities, and let's do some good out there, you guys, as we always do in poker. At least we try anyway. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. And I did just put, just for everyone's information, at the end of the article, 4 links, from the U.S., Canada, UK, a whole bunch of different ALS charities that you can donate to.
There you go. So that'll work. By the way, right before we came on the air, I saw a tweet from Doyle. You mentioned Doyle Brunson. He asked how late is registration for the Super Seniors event.
There you go.
Which actually doesn't close until 6/10, I believe. So we may be getting an Ivy appearance and a Brunson appearance down here at the World Series today.
I think it's going to happen. I put odds on that for sure. I think it'll happen.
Well, that'd be great to have Doyle come down and play it. So, and then he'd come in here and rock everybody.
I just hope some sort of cameras capture it, and whatever ESPN does cover, whatever the coverage that they air, that they at least show a clip of him walking in and stuff. It's just something that shouldn't be limited to people who are happen to be there at the time that he's there. To people should just maybe someone put it on Twitch or something like or Periscope, one of those apps, so we could watch him enter and just applaud him from our homes as well.
There you go. And by the way, seeing more tweets about what's going on in the Amazon room, and apparently the crowd, according to let's see, we got. I've got to turn my screen here a little bit. Bart DeSoma saying the crowd is wild inside the Amazon. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, look, when you give everybody time to get down and watch Jesse Sylvia play, he's got a lot of friends. Just a few. So I'm sure between him and Daniel Negreanu being down there, it is absolutely insane. So I'll tell you what.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look real quick. I'll tell you what. I'll hit the live action right now. What's happening at the moment? And then we can go back and take a look at that. And a little bit of controversy, Robbie, around this Player of the Year standings. So
a little. I'd say there's a lot of controversy going on.
There is going to be some. Once I think everybody gets back from EDC and gets it all out of the system, there's going to be some chitter chatter going on. But let's take a look at what is happening right now here at the World Series of Poker. Let me swing back here to event. Where is that one? I'm looking for it right now. There's 39. Did I wipe out
41?
Did I wipe out the big one? I wiped out the one I wanted. Give me 1 second here. I gotta. the one that I want with Jesse in it is, of course, the one that is missing. It's amazing how you can occasionally do something like that. I've got every other event that is active or we did not cover up except for that one. So give me 1 second here. We're gonna yank that one up on the big screen.
Sure thing.
Here we go. This is fun. By the way, Robbie, if anyone wants to follow you while I'm going here, do you want to?
Cool. Oh, yeah, plug opportunity. Cool. Hey, everybody. I'm Robbie Straczynski. I'm founder of the CardPlayerLifestyle.com poker blog. You can follow me at CardPlayerLife on Twitter. I also, just another little quick plug, I co-host a podcast called the Top Pair Home Game Poker Podcast. You can look for that on toppair.net. And if you're looking to maybe take notes while you're playing live poker, you don't need a pen and a pencil and a piece of paper. You can do it on your phone. Look for the Poker Notes Live app. Free to use, free to download, and go ahead and take notes on your opponents.
There you go. All right, now to event number 38, the $3,000 No Limit Hold'em event. They are down to 4 as Yun Fan has gone out, and Jesse Sylvia looks like he was the one that did the damage, and Jesse is now in the lead in this event. 6,250,000 chips. Tiago Nishijima at 5,050,000. Samad Razavi at 1.9, and Sortirios Kaltapas. I'm not sure if I got that right, but we're going to go with it.
We'll give you that one.
Okay, 1,650,000. So Jesse Sylvia right now in the lead. Can't say he's like really, really in the driver's seat right now, but Jesse is in front in event number 38 going on in there. We'll skip 39. Let's get an update on event number 40. That is the seniors $1,000 buy-in,
Mhm,
33 players left, and a Canadian trying to take this thing down. Leon Chambers, a nice lead right now too. 1.7 million over Oliver Anderson, Shane Goldsmith, Jim Hopperstead. That's a senior's name, don't you think? Hopperstead. Justin Sung, Travis Baker, Charles Ziss, and Stephen G., the former November Niner. He had a rough World Series last year, but he is now listed in 8th place in that one. Looking to see if we got any other notable names still
I know
alive.
he's obviously not in it now, but did Phil Hellmuth end up entering that one? Because he's 50.
I don't think he did. I'm surprised.
That would have been pretty interesting.
It would have been. I'll tell you what. I mean, people were flipping out too. I mean,
check his birth certificate.
It's funny because when you start talking about that, we've been around the game for a while, and we've seen these guys that started coming up in that generation of stars. Is now in getting in the late 40s, early 50s. And then these younger guys that started out in their 20s, they're going to start getting in their 30s. They're having families and settling things down
about
a bit.
the young kids. That's what they keep talking about. Oh, these kids these days, and they're only 30 themselves.
Right. So it's getting pretty interesting. If you've been following the game for 9 or 10 years or so. Sure. It looks like the only major notables that I see on the list. But so Stephen G. looking to try and win the seniors event, which is the super seniors, by the way, has just hit their break, so they are we're under attack. I mean, we're taking a break out here in the hallway. But that's the seniors tournament.
How many breaks do they get in the super seniors?
It's standard tournament.
Okay,
standard tournament.
All right, not to make fun of the super seniors, but it's just such an easy target,
It is. Yeah, people have been having some fun with it today, and I'm sure everybody's having fun with it too. The $10,000 7-card stud high-low 8 or better is going on. They are now down to 10 as Yuval Bronstein has been eliminated. Steven Chidwick out in front with 820,000, and Max Pescatori is trying to win his second bracelet of this World Series, 534,000. But boy, that I got to tell you right off the bat before we get into those other names, when somebody gets a good lead in a 7-card stud tournament, and especially in a 7-card split, man, it is tough to pull them back. So Chidwick, opening up a 300,000 chip lead does not bode well for the rest of the field. Then again, if your name is Daniel Negreanu, you got a little bit of a shot, no matter how many chips you got. I think. That doesn't hurt. And Pescatori's in second right now. Gary Benson in third. Alan Ledford in fourth. And the aforementioned Daniel Negreanu at 260,000, listed in fifth at the moment. He called his shot. He I think a couple days ago, he was like, yeah, I'm going to go Babe Ruth on this one. I'm going to win this one. Just watch. Well, we'll see if he can do it. This is not going to be easy, though. Thomas Buttshammer there in sixth. Alexander Denisov in seventh. Philip Hui in eighth. Yuhata Buckhalter in ninth. And Richard Sklar in 10th. So a pretty good field that Daniel Negreanu is going to have to fight his way through here in event number 41. Event 42, the $1,500 extended play No Limit Hold'em. They came up with an interesting name for that. So I guess it's the Viagra event. The way you said it just makes it sound like such a funny event. I did my best on that one. That one, still a lot of players left in that. 543 to go going into day two. Right now, the man who gets the screenshot is a Honduran, Jose Pindamancada, listed as the chip leader. Not bad. Yeah, thank you. Not bad. Out of Colonia Lomas del Honduras, 113,950. Philip Roth listed second at 112.50. Patrick Leonard, Yevgeny Timoshenko in there. Barney Boatman listed in there too, even though obviously these chip counts probably not complete by any means. But Barney Boatman, who I got to get him a shirt. He asked me for another shirt. I got to see if I can find one. Justin Oliver's up there too. Matt Stout, Makul Pahuja, Blair Hinkle, Jonathan Little among your guys out in front on that. The Super Seniors going on. Amazing, these gigantic fields, and you still have all these notable names, near the top. It's really astounding, when you think about it. 2,000 people, and you just named, from the top 10, top 15, names that if you've been following poker, you recognize. It's incredible, every single one of them. And I think a lot of that has to do with the structures here too. We've been seeing a lot of guys who know what they're doing, and when you give them extra chips, it makes them very, very dangerous. Like I said, Super Seniors is going on right now. not listing many players on there. And I saw somebody from another media person was giving everybody crap about, or the WSOP crap about, why do you only have 5 players up there listed? Well, here's the thing: is that you're looking at when this is what somebody who doesn't do any live reporting doesn't understand is you're looking to get when a tournament first starts out, you're just looking for names that you know. Now that's what everybody wants at the beginning. Who's there? Because you can't really report on what's going on in terms of hands, because if you're very lucky, you get you somehow in a massive field of people find a cool hand and write it up. But generally, it's mostly you're setting the table for who's in the tournament, what the atmosphere is like, and so on. So that guy is a total idiot. But Susie Isaacs listed on there, TJ Cloutier's in the field, Oklahoma Johnny Hale, Tom McAvoy in the field right now. But got a great turnout right now, listing 1,380 entries for this thing, Robbie. How about that?
Wow. That's pretty good. That's old school.
Yeah,
really, really old school.
That is smoking. So good for them guys, and they're having a great time out here, and no fights.
I think that's what that tournament's all about. It's just having a good time.
Yeah, no fights in the bathroom line that I've seen anyway. No funky stuff going on, so we're all good. Event number 44 is going to be getting underway in a little bit. That is, of course, the Poker Players Championship. That is going to be kicking off later this afternoon. So,
how many think they're gonna have for that? Do they have already numbers for pre-reg?
Nothing on the board.
Okay,
nothing on the board. So we'll see where that ends up as well. All right, so that's current events, and then we'll get back into some of the other tournaments a little bit. Robbie, can you stick around?
Yeah, sure, for sure, no problem. I'm here.
Okay, because we have another guest coming in here too. We are going to be joined here in just a little bit on this with Ruben Bressler, who is a poker reporter for 888 Poker, among many other things. So Ruben's going to sit in here too, so all the three of us will get to hang out and have a little fun and talk some poker.
Maybe we'll teach you a little Hebrew too, with a name like that. Huh?
Oh, there you go. That'll be all right.
Sounds good.
All right, so stick around, everybody. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back to talk about the Player of the Year race and our first multiple bracelet winner, and why he's not in first place right now. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show.
I'm here with two-time WSOP bracelet winner Rep Porter. Rep, you just launched a new poker training site, thepokeracademy.com. What's one tip you can give to players that will immediately improve their game?
One mistake I see a lot of newer tournament players make is they vary their bet size depending on their hand strength. Some players, when they have a big hand, bet big, and when they have a small hand, bet small. Other players bet smaller when they want you to call them and bet bigger when they want you to fold. These type of betting pattern tells are very easy to pick up on if you're sitting at the table with the same player for a long time. It's really important in tournament play to keep your bet sizing consistent so that your opponents aren't able to discern what kind of hand you have by the amount that you're betting.
That's a great tip for you from Rep Porter at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. Thepokeracademy.com offers a no-limit tournament course that gives you a comprehensive strategy from the beginning through all the stages of tournament play. Use the link, thepokeracademy.com/mark, to get a free 166-page course guide when you buy the course. That's thepokeracademy.com/mark.
There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
Only a donkey would call my pre-flop bet with a deuce tray.
Hey, deuce tray is my lucky hand, and besides, they were suited. Man, I played that hand great.
That was a real share my pair hand.
Share My Pair, the best way to share your poker stories with friends, for free. Available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Download the app now.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. PokerShop.com.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give Open-Face Chinese Poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason Open-Face Chinese Poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the Open-Face Chinese Poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app, and we'll see you at the tables.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, I'm trying not to miss my cue. There we go. We are back on The Mark Hoke Show, live from the World Series of Poker. Show like 670-something. I got to recount. I'm losing track, Ruben.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's more than I posted.
I'm getting old. What can I say? But, man, I'll tell you what. And Robbie Skrzyncki on the line over there, too. It's loud in here right now.
Yeah, it's break time of the Super Seniors event. And, first of all, you just said you're old. You can go play in that if you want to.
I'm not that old.
I'll take over, and then Robbie and I can just do this. But yeah, they're all headed back into the what is this, the Brasilia?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big event. There's like 1,300 Super Seniors.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Pretty nice. It's exciting. And, the volume's a little loud out here. Everybody's got to speak up a little bit.
That's like 7 million combined years old.
I'm not a math scientist, but I think that's pretty close.
Robbie, be nice. Come on, man. We're having
nice.
fun.
One day I'll be that old.
Well, let's introduce everybody to Ruben. Of course, first time on the show.
Yep.
Just happened to be sitting across from us the other day when we were doing the show and got to meet. And, I'm very happy to have you on. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Ruben Bressler. I'm at MoxRuby on Twitter. I am perhaps best known to poker fans as a reporter for 888 Poker for this summer's World Series. I'll be covering the main event for all the sponsored pros for that, and I'm currently paying attention to Jesse Sylvia, who's in the top 3 of the 3K.
Yep.
In addition to that, I host a Magic the Gathering podcast called Magic Mics. I've been playing Magic for most of my life. That's how I got to know most of the guys that I'm friends with in poker.
There you go.
And I also write an animated comedy show and also write a weekly strategy series for another card game called Hearthstone. So I'm a busy guy.
Christ, you're as bad as me almost.
Yeah, I'd like to keep busy.
Yeah. God, at least you're not traveling quite so much.
Right, yeah, I am a local to Las Vegas, and and when I'm not writing, I'm playing small stakes poker here in town. That's my normal job.
Nice. Well, there you go. So, guys, so Ruben, welcome to the show. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to hit. We talked about what's playing out today. I want to hit a couple things about some recent events that just took place, and this little bit of controversy that's going to be coming up about the Player of the Year.
Okay.
Because I got to be honest with you, I was in shock when I looked at the standings this morning. I really was. Over the last couple days, of course, we took Saturday off. Corey Wunstell wins event number 36, $1,500 pot limit Omaha.
Slim, as he's known to the Baton Rouge locals,
yeah,
which is quite the awesome nickname, obviously, if you see him on the website.
Exactly. Manages to knock off Kevin Saul in that one, so Kevin Saul denied a World Series of Poker bracelet there, and so congratulations to Corey on that one. Byron Kaverman comes through and scored. This guy's so sick.
Yeah,
I
he's just
swear
winning
to God.
everything. He
He's
won back-to-back
amazing.
high rollers at the Aria, right?
Uh-huh.
It's just unreal. And then he wins a bracelet. Guy's just
He's not even
unstoppable.
30 years old yet.
Yeah.
No, he can take the rest of the year off and have a good time.
He won't.
He won't, but he could. He could.
He could.
But Kaverman knocks off Doug Polk. Polk, of course, was leading this event going into the final day. But Kaverman comes through, winning event number 37, that $10,000 No Limit Home six-handed championship. Fedor Holes in third, Thomas Muhlacher in fourth. Sam Greenwood comes up just short in his quest to win a second bracelet at this World Series. Paul Volpe, another final table in another 10K, finishes in sixth place. Kenneth Fishman, Olivier Bousquet, another deep run for him. Fernando Brito in ninth, and Chris Klodnicki finishing in 10th. Mark Radoja in 11th.
I gotta say, I was super surprised that Doug lost heads up. He's like a heads
Yeah.
up specialist.
That would-
like that's what he's best known for, is all his online heads up finishes.
Yeah, I mean, because when I saw he was ahead going into this final table, I figured, man, I mean, there's some good players there.
Yeah.
But to knock him off in this situation is going to be pretty rough. But Kaverman did.
You know,
so-
live poker is rigged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
the only explanation.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, real quick, I'll give an event update on event 38 before we get to event 39. It looks like Tiago Nishijima has taken the lead now in that. He's up to 8.7. Jesse Sylvia down to 3.4. And Kotapos at Kotapas.
SK, as they're calling
Yeah,
him.
I think we should stick with that. 2.51. So they're down to 3 in that one.
That's the one I was
Samad Razavi
birding
out.
right before the show. The hand that happened was that Samad went all in. Jesse called, and then Tiago went all in on top of it, and Jesse ended up folding.
Ooh.
Was how that pot got so big. And that was a sevens versus ace king, and a king came on the river for Tiago. So that's how he got all his chips.
Wow. There you go. So Jesse Sylvia now is going to have a little work to do to try and capture that World Series of Poker bracelet. Event number 39, the $1,500 10-game mix, and Brian Hastings, just in case everybody forgot about all those prop bets, Hastings manages to put it together again and wins his second bracelet here at this year's World Series of Poker. He knocks off Radislav Sodikov, who's an American. God bless him.
Yeah. And Todd Brunson, who's Russian. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not.
Well, he just looks like a Russian.
Yeah, a
there,
little bit.
You know, but Todd Brunson finishing third in that one. Alexei Makarov in fourth. Tim Roish in fifth. Sir Watts finishing in sixth. Awais Ahmed finishing in seventh. Eric Wasserson in eighth. And Dan Matsuki finishing in ninth. So Brian Hastings, as if winning all those prop bets wasn't enough, now he manages to come back and gets his second World Series of Poker bracelet
With Kaverman winning and then Hastings winning, it's like they removed variance from poker, and the best player just wins every tournament.
Yeah.
It's pretty unreal.
Yeah, and big congrats to Brian, because I know he really put a lot of heat on himself this summer. Talking to him about it, and so a great accomplishment for him. Though kind of surprising, I went back and looked, and you hear a guy, someone winning a second bracelet, and you think, man, that doesn't happen very often. But actually, it's happened every year since, I believe, 1998.
Sure.
If I'm correct. So it's not. I mean, it's a rare feat, but it's not as rare as you would think. So not to discount what Brian's done,
No, of course not.
But it's been going
It's
on
still
for
a
a while.
relatively short list of people that have won one, let alone 2 bracelets. I'm sure he's got more in his future. He's still quite a young guy, but yeah, I mean they give away 65 bracelets a year on average, and they've given away, like in 1995 and 1996 they gave away traditional Chinese poker bracelets in a 1500 and a 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just have random games like that. Next summer they might have Badoogie or something like that.
It's happening. I think it's going to happen too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they put that in the Poker Players Championship
and the
this
10-game mix.
Yeah.
So that's coming. It's real. Like those weird events come and go, and the players that love to play everything are going to enter all those events, and so you're going to get a lot of multiple bracelet winners when you've got one guy winning 10-game mix, and then the next year they'll win, the 5K Badoogie or whatever. A player like Phil Hellmuth that just enters every mixed game event is going to amass multiple bracelets, and Hastings is that kind of guy that's just a jack of all trades.
Yep, sure is. I'm
I
waiting.
think Badoogie's going to stick around though once it's introduced.
Oh, I think so too. I think
it's
once
been around
people
on
just get to play it because,
online sites for a while.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't get to play it because it's really not spread in many places. It's spread in a lot of mixed games in the high stakes rooms, but for the most part, it's not spread too many places. But as it starts working its way into the dealer's choice games and these games like the Poker Players Championship, where players really are going to have to start realizing that they're going to have to learn to play this game.
Yeah.
Badoogie, Badacey, Bladdy, whatever we want to call it.
Badoogie, Badoosie, and Badacy, I think, are the 3 that are.
Yeah.
Is there Badonkey? What is that? I don't even know what that
I wouldn't
is.
be surprised.
There's a Badabanop, do. They got that too. But yeah, I mean, so I think we'll start seeing more Badoogie, and I'm sure they'll give it a shot at some point.
I was watching the 10-game mix, and Jeff Lissandro got knocked out in like 19th in Badoogie. And I was thinking, how many people, it's the first year that they've had Badoogie, how many people do you think have ever been knocked out of a World Series event playing Badoogie? It's only going to be like 5, right? And Jeff Lissandro's at the top of the list. So I thought that was kind of fun.
I bet that made Jeff a little cranky too.
He's generally in a cranky state.
Yeah, so I'm sure he wasn't real thrilled about that. But now I want to take a look. So those are all the bracelets that have been given out here, and so we're all kind of caught up. But let's take a look at these Player of the Year standings. And of course, this year GPI took this over and is using their formula to calculate who is the Player of the Year. And right now, I mean, this was kind of mind-boggling to me. Paul Volpe is still out in front. Paul is standing at 1,631.59 points. Brian Hastings is not even in second place right now.
With 2 bracelets?
With 2 bracelets. Phil Galfond sits in second, and the distance between these guys is incredible, too. Galfond's at 1,305.1. Hastings is in third at 1,264.03. So he is almost 400 points, or 25% behind Volpe with 2 wins, which
That's
is
weird.
Which is amazing. And just to break down what those guys have done, Volpe has a 6th place in the 10K 6-handed we just mentioned, 36th place in a 5K 8-handed. The other 3 are all 10Ks as well, with a 2nd, a 2nd, and a 12th.
All right.
So Volpe's done obviously very well in the high stakes games.
I mean, it's tough to argue when you have 4 final tables that you're not going to be Player of the Year. I guess the argument is if you have 2 bracelets,
yeah,
it's you're going to clash.
So you slide down to Hastings. Hastings, obviously, with the 2 wins, won a 1,500 event, obviously yesterday with the 10-game mix, has the win in a 10K 7-card stud, 7th place in the 3K limit 6-handed event, and then let's see, 104th in the event 12, which was a $1,500 no limit home 6-handed, and then a 29th in a 5K no limit home tournament, which was event number 2. So obviously there is a massive skew on this to the high roller events, or the 10K events, which wasn't in effect last year. And I kind of had somebody check on it for me because I didn't have time to do all the mathematics. If we were following Bluff's formula from last year, guys, Paul would actually still be in front, but not by much. From what I was told, it's a much tighter point total, but it's just hard to believe that a guy that's got 2 bracelets is that far behind. What do you think?
Yeah, he's like 400 points behind. So he needs like at least one more good final table finish to to just tie. Yeah, that's pretty unbelievable. I think that the system that the GPI is using, on the one hand, I like that it weighs heavier towards the higher buy-in events. But on the other hand, I really like giving a lot of credit for actually closing out a tournament and winning.
Right.
Only one person gets to walk away from a poker tournament happy. And he's done that twice this summer, which is, actually getting to close an event is a huge deal in my mind. So I think that probably somewhere in the middle is correct, but I lean towards the system that the GPI is using if I have to pick one. Because when you put so much on the line, when you bet so much on yourself, it just speaks to how much more difficult the competition is. Even if you have to fight through, 22,000 in the Colossus, which is a ton, it's arguable that it's tougher to fight through 2,500 in a 5K.
Right.
Because you're only going to be playing against the best competition in the world and the occasional businessman. Like, that's it. So I tend to think that I like this system. I need to look at it more. I haven't really studied it too much. But there are a couple people who are in the top 50 who don't even have final tables.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unreal.
Yeah, Robbie, what do you think about this?
Well, you take that one step further from the 5K. You look at the 50K, you're only going to have 100 people.
Right.
In that kind of an event. And, you fight your way through. But still, it's called the Poker Players Championship for a reason. Someone who wins that bracelet gets a tremendous amount of respect and, significantly more than, I wouldn't say any random guy, but, like you said, it takes a lot of talent to go through 22,000 players in the Colossus or a 3K event or a 1.5K. But, when you're going through 100 of the most highly skilled, how many businessmen are going to the 50K event? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many randoms are going in? How many people are satelliting into that thing?
Yeah,
You
there's
have
not many
the cream of
spots
the
on the
crop.
table in that tournament.
Say again?
Not many spots on the table. Not many good positions
Exactly.
to take.
Exactly. So I think that, again, I'm not going to go ahead and say the GPI is perfect. Plenty of people have picked it apart, and, I might not be a math guy to look at the formula itself. There's certainly some areas where it ought to be tweaked, and, you have these weird situations where you have, a double bracelet winner who's, that far behind. Some tweaks need to be done. But on the other hand, I think the flatter structure, the flatter payouts, I guess, of points, makes a little bit of sense, because yes, you made it to the final two. Okay, you didn't win, but you know what? You still made it to the final two. You have that Phil Hellmuth situation, let's say from a couple years back, where he finished runner-up 3 times, something like that. He had, whatever luck he had, he made it to that second place. And it doesn't, to go ahead and discount the fact that he, just like the people who won each of those 3 bracelets, also made it to the final 2. There's merit in that, and I think the structure this year, it shows that. Oh man, I lost my chain of thought. But basically, the people
Robbie.
who have gotten to those final 2 or final 1, it's a little bit flatter, and I think it demonstrates the talent that it takes to get through all the way till the end. Yes, there is something to be said for closing it out, but I don't think it needs to be such a tremendous disparity between first and second. And I guess that's sort of what's showing in these rankings. But I think Alex himself, Alex Dreyfus, who owns the GPI, he admitted that some tweaks did need to be made. One other thing, just sort of like a segue out of it, or to a different related topic of the GPI. Is there used to be things that were awarded when someone won Player of the Year. They got a few entries, like they got a truck one year, or they got a few entries into the main event. And this year they're getting the trophy, which is nice, and their banner unfurled. Nice things, but I think there ought to be something, someone motivating them a little bit more to chase harder. I guess okay, so I'm a little bit behind, a little bit ahead. Why should I keep on trying to win Player of the Year? What's in it for me besides the trophy? Perhaps some sort of financial incentive should be there of some sort.
I want a championship belt.
I think so too.
That'd be sweet.
Man, that would be so awesome.
How great would that be at the end of the series? There's just somebody's on the top rope with a championship belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
need
good
more of
with
that
it.
in poker.
Dive off the stage with that thing, baby.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that was so awesome. But it's got to be the big gold,
right?
NWA WCW
Yeah.
championship belt.
The Ric Flair.
The
We'll go ahead
classic,
and
not
present it.
not the new diamond encrusted whatever they have.
That's
in
not
W.
bad though.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's not as I just want a big bracelet that's shaped like a belt.
Well, Jen Shahadi did win a championship belt when she won the High Roller OFC championship.
That was like a Tony Bet belt or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the mustard belt. It was kind of like the mustard belt for the
definitely-
Nathan's hot dog eating
I
contest.
definitely agree that the incentive for winning Player of the Year, other than the prestige, you can't eat prestige, right? You
Right.
Can't, you got to do something else. And the seniors event yesterday, the seniors event gives away the Golden Eagle Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
The specialty events give away the specialty trophies, and just sort of putting the Player of the Year on the same level as that is kind of weird. I agree that there should be some other, at least symbolic prize. How much is it going to cost the World Series to add a $40,000 car? you
Yeah.
know?
Well, you know what I think they do? I should give,
Or have it sponsored,
They should
maybe.
give
Right,
the Player of
exactly.
the Year. This is what they should give the Player of the Year a life-size bronze statue of Jared Jaffe. Now that would be an incredible prize.
I like
I'd put
that.
that in my house and display it proudly.
Can you fit it in your house? Not bad, not bad.
I'm just wondering why Jared just came out of the Super Seniors event. Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, Jared's playing the Super Seniors? That doesn't quite work.
I'm like 3 years away.
Gotta have fun with Jared. One of the nicest guys in poker. I dig him so much. Yeah, but so this is going to be there's going to be a lot of discussion about this as we roll on deeper into this World Series. Like I said, I'm just a little surprised that disparity is.
It is
just
a
so
little
much.
surprising. I haven't heard too much complaining about it from the players. I don't think anyone's. Well, first of all, I don't think many of the players have started paying attention to the Player of the Year yet.
Yeah,
We're
probably
barely
not.
halfway over
Yeah.
with the series. So I think that as the series goes on, as we start getting more of the 10Ks happening, we'll hear a little bit more about it. But they're definitely giving more along with the flatter payouts that the WSOP introduced this year, along with the increased chip stacks. One of the other changes is that they are giving more credit to how long you last in events, and not just solely for final tables and solely for finishes,
Right.
which I tend to like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the formula is going to need to be tweaked just a little bit because
Right.
with Brian getting 2 wins and Paul's got a couple of seconds and a sixth. There's it just seems like that gap shouldn't be so big. I mean,
Right.
there's just something visually about it. Kind of like the payouts for the Colossus. There was just something visually that didn't quite match what
Yeah.
you would expect.
I was in the room when they announced what first prize was going to be in the Colossus. They were not happy.
No, it was devastating, and I going to go, not to beat that dead horse too much because we talked about it a lot, but I haven't got to talk about it with you guys. But when you look at a payout chart that WSOP puts out, I could see where that number would have come out at 5-ish%, just following their formula, but the rest of it didn't make any sense.
Right.
The rest of it was compacted. Just
And they
a
also
little bit.
didn't tell anybody. Like if they just told everybody ahead of time, it would have
Yeah.
been a different story.
Exactly. Did you notice after I griped about it a few days later, all the payout charts were up?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, big deal. Big time, everybody.
Yeah. What can I say? Occasionally people listen to me.
There you go.
I don't know if it would have stopped someone from playing though.
No,
You know what I mean? Like
No, and that's the
Certainly
thing.
not, yeah.
That's the thing. I think everybody would have looked at it and just said, "Hey, you know what? That's the way it is."
Yeah.
I
They would have
mean,
said, "Huh, that's weird," and then still paid $565.
Right.
Yeah. It was just. I think it just caught everybody off guard because you're so used to seeing, 10 to 15% at least on the top.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there thinking about it, and it's going through your head, and you're like, oh man, we got $11 million in the prize pool. I'm gonna, there's $1 million out here waiting for me. It's just kind of a natural reaction
and
to
also
it.
the scuttlebutt around Vegas, at least with the players I was talking to, was that it was going like the people that they were talking to involved in the tournament were saying that it was going to be $1 million payout to first place, which obviously that's hearsay to the
Yeah.
nth degree. But when that is what the grapevine is saying, and then it's so much less.
Yeah.
The regular grinders, the Vegas 2-5 players, and the low stakes tournament guys were particularly upset. Even
Right.
everyone who flew in was upset, and everyone who's super high roller was also upset. But especially those guys were just going on tears, like making
Yeah.
Facebook notes and tweeting up a storm. And
Oh,
being
that's
super upset.
I was sitting here and then of course I had a break. There was a break right after they announced that, and I was watching Twitter, and it was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. I mean, there's very few topics that I've seen that blew up Twitter like that in poker. Just it was something else. But let me ask you this, guys, and since we're on the subject, and even we do have a little time to reflect on this now. Do you think that more players we're going to have more players for that event next year or less based on the perception of what happened in there? Do you guys think that even though it was a nice first prize, that the feeling of disappointment is still going to carry over, and people are going to look at this like, I don't think the World Series is deserving of $1.1 million in rake, and we don't get this, which was one of the complaints. Do you guys think that we're going to be able to see we're going to see an increase in that event, or you think it's going to drop off?
I don't think that it's
go
going
first,
to have...
Ruben? Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
I'll go first. I don't think that specific thing is going to have a long-lasting impact on Colossus's numbers. I think there's a lot more variables that are going to have impacts on future Colossi, which...
I like that. Colossi.
The first of which is this year it was the first one. It has the novelty of being the very first of this giant tournament. It's by far the biggest tournament ever. You're not ever going to relive your first.
Right, exactly.
So I think that's going to have some impact. And then another impact, I think, is going to be that they're going to alter it and change it around to try to, like everything they do every year, they try to balance the scales and try to fix things. And so next year, they're going to come out with the information sooner and solve the things that they can solve easily.
Right.
And so I don't think that particular variable is going to have that much of an impact on the Colossus, rather than, the average size of tournaments worldwide shifts are going to have a much bigger impact on the Colossus size than anything specifically to the Colossus, I think.
Good point. Robbie, what do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, people got to remember, this was 22,374 people when the previous largest event was 8,773.
Right.
So if you get, let's say, 19,000 next year, is that a failure? I mean, that's a shitload of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It would be, you'd have to go to great lengths to call an event a failure or anything like that. But I also don't think it's going to have too much of a negative effect. I mean, you have to remember the Colossus is, as much as people may have been disappointed and blown up on Twitter about it, they put the Colossus there not for the professionals. They put the Colossus there for the weekend warriors, for the recreational players, the home game guys.
Exactly.
And to put together $565 is actually a lot of money for some people. And they'll go ahead and take their shot. They'll have their experience, and that's not going to go ahead and change. So I do hope that they continue to run the Colossus from year to year. Logistically, it was an incredibly impressive feat. I mean, how many more people could you possibly have?
Yeah.
I think they said they were ready for 28,000 at most, but
they were shoving
22,000 people. They're putting them in the, the poker kitchen. It's
I
insane.
played in the poker kitchen to start the day.
There you go.
After I was sitting there tweeting out and being a smartass about everybody playing in the poker kitchen, guess where I got to play to start the day? Which was cool. Yeah. It was, I was close to the food. That helped. If I needed a candy bar, just hop over real quick.
So I think if anything, it's just going to be better. If I had to put some money on it, I'd think they'd get the same amount of people or more. And like Ruben said, I think the easy fixes they'll be able to fix relatively easily. And every event, no event is perfect, but all things considered, they ran a pretty tight ship. They did a really good job, and those few easy things to correct, they're easy, and we'll see an improvement in it next year.
Well, I hope the one thing that they really take a hard look at for next year when they run this is the payouts and the registration, because I gotta tell you,
registration was miserable.
That was miserable.
Yeah,
I felt
good.
so bad for everybody. Now I kind of lucked out, and somebody told me I could go register in the pavilion, so I actually registered and I got staked and registered in 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I didn't know that. So mad.
Oh, I know. I felt terrible. Honest to God, it was a funny story because my friend put me in the tournament. She plopped the money down, and then one of my listeners was standing there and said, "Hey, you want to get through the registration line quick?" I'm like, "Sure." So he says, "Go down to Pavilion. They're taking registrations. There's 5 people in line."
Must be so nice.
10 minutes. I literally gotten the money and registered for the tournament. So I tweeted that out. I didn't, keep the knowledge to myself.
Sure,
That'd have been kind of
right.
rude. But yeah.
After you were done with it, you were like, all right, here's a bone for everybody.
Yeah.
I played in Day 1B and Day 1D. I registered for Day 1B a week ahead of time at the regular Rio cage, and there was no line. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's probably the only leg I'll play. And then I died on the 6th hand when my aces got cracked by Jack 8 offsuit all in pre-flop.
Yuck.
Just some guy wanted to gamble. And then Day 1D, I was going to I wasn't planning on playing a second leg, but one of my buddies was just going to back me for like half of it. And so I was like, all right, I can't really turn that down. And I came in on Friday at 1 p.m. To register for day 1D that started at 7. I couldn't get in at the start at 7.
Nope.
I couldn't get in at the restart at 9:30.
Nope.
I started at 11:45.
Oh, you were one of those boys.
Yes, I started at 11:45.
How was that? How fun was
with
that?
13 bigs. It was wild. I played a hyper for an hour and a half. It was
Right.
insane. Yeah. And by the end of the night, I was the only one of my starting table that was alive, let alone, I mean, I had like 12x starting stack, which was nice, but I was the only one at my table that was even still there.
Wow.
It was crazy. And so the other thing that I thought was pretty funny was about an hour in, I'm like feeling pretty good. I got like 30K in front of me. I'm like, all right, I got a nice size stack. I'm like pretty by far the biggest at the table because our table was brand new. And then they move a guy in who's got like 150K.
Oh.
And I'm just like, all right, whatever, man. You know, you've been here for 5 more hours than me. Like, how is that even fair? It was fine, but you know, it's still pretty.
Is that
funny.
something that would prevent you from, registering and trying it again next year?
For the super late reg, yes. I think that the registering at 11:45. Now, I didn't know that it was going to be like that. Obviously, when I came in, I was expecting to get the late reg. I wasn't expecting to get the late show registration. But I think that next year, the players that played this year, the repeat customers next year, are going to remember that.
Yeah, there's no way I would have played that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no
way.
way.
I showed up and stood in line for 45 minutes, and then they were like, "You're starting at 11:45," and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm going to play it. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Like, I'm not going to turn it down because I just stood in line for 45 minutes." But,
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of people that played that waves just said total waste of time. I might as well flush the money down the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hyper. You got to know how to play hypers. Like, luckily I have some experience with that, and the rest of my table didn't realize what was going on. That when you have 13 big blinds, you can't play poker.
Yeah.
So I was able to take advantage of that for half the table. So that's how I survived. But it's certainly gonna make me plan ahead next year. Certainly, if I'm planning on playing more than one leg.
Register early, everybody,
and often.
Yeah. Just do it. God, we keep telling everybody that every freaking year. I actually had a guy thank me for mentioning that on my show.
Poker players aren't the greatest with time management.
No, not so much. Not so much. Robbie's good with time management, though. Right, Robbie?
I try. I'm already like 10 hours ahead of you, so.
Well, see, that's how you do it.
There you go. I'll tell you exactly what happens like 5 hours from now. You're going to be blown away.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. All right. Well, I'll tell you, I got to get one more commercial break in, guys. Do you want to stick around for one more break?
Sure.
Okay. Sure, no problem.
Okay, we'll do that.
Good.
So let's get to pay the bills here real quick and come right back on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for being with us, guys. We're live from the World Series of Poker. Ruben and Robbie, we got the R's here. This is pretty cool. Works out for me.
R&R.
God, I love some R&R. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors, and portable bars to bump stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. Pokershop.com.
In Vegas, it's like
There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America. Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go? Heads up, everyone. It's time for the ABC Chinese Poker App Tip of the Day.
Try to make a good hand in all 3 rows. That's what makes the game both fun and challenging. Except for a big pair on top for Fantasyland, try to improve all the rows, not just maximize one while neglecting the others. For example, it's usually good to pass on a flush on the bottom if you can improve another row significantly instead. You have plenty of chances to catch the 5th diamond later.
Want to get in on the Chinese poker action with over 1 million games played every day? Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on your iPhone or iPad today. From Vegas to Miami and all over the world, it's the #1 Chinese poker app, ABC Chinese Poker.
Only a donkey would call my pre-flop bet with a deuce tray.
Hey, deuce tray is my lucky hand, and besides, they were suited. Man, I played that hand great.
That was a real share my pair hand.
Share My Pair, the best way to share your poker stories with friends for free. Available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Download the app now.
Nevada poker players, it's time to get in the game with the Nevada Poker League. Play for free to win cash at every location. Plus, you also can win poker cruises and even a $10,000 World Series of Poker main event seat. It's a great way to play poker at no risk, make new friends, and build up your poker bankroll. The Nevada Poker League is never closed and is running games 7 days a week at a location near you. So what are you waiting for? Visit the NevadaPokerLeague.com right now for all the info. Don't wait. Play poker for free and cash in today with your friends at the Nevada Poker League.
Most poker websites drop you into a sea of videos and it's choose your own adventure time. You'll learn a lot of great moves from pros, but they don't teach you how they fit into your game. Isn't there a better way to learn tournament poker? We think so, and that's exactly what you'll get at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. We teach you how all the tactics of tournament play fit together into a comprehensive strategy taught by a 2-time WSOP bracelet winner. Use the link thepokeracademy.com/mark to get a free 166-page course guide when you sign up. That's thepokeracademy.com/Mark.
You gotta be.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Most known for on
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
God, I hate when I miss the button. I'm really bad about that sometimes. My wife says that too.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Mark Hoke Show live here at the World Series of Poker. The kids are having fun playing some poker in there. The kids. Yeah, the super seniors.
Yeah, they're like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, regular bathroom breaks.
Yeah, my wife says to me all the
Snack
time.
time.
She's
What?
like, my wife says, when you're a baby, we have to take care of you. And then when you get old, I'm going to have to take care of you.
Yep.
It's like you start at the same place and end at the same place.
It's the circle of life.
Oh, God. I'm the only one allowed to sing on this show. You know that,
sorry.
right?
I
No.
apologize.
No, that's okay.
At this point, I can only apologize.
Oh, my God. This is unbelievable. We're having a good time here. Robbie Straczynski online from Card Player Lifestyle. Oh, and look, speak of the devil. My wife's here. Peter Blackhall is here. Ruben Bressler here sitting next to us, of course, covering the World Series for 888 Poker. Having a good old time. Look at you, Peter. You're all buff.
Sun's out, guns out.
Jesus, man. Looks like he's ready to hurt somebody. Fresh from oh, Peter made his first trip to Walmart. That's right. Got photos of guns.
Yeah, America's great.
I'll tell you what, this has been an interesting World Series to say the least. But hopefully those tacos that are in my bag right now, I can't wait. I almost want to bag the show right now and eat, but that'd be kind of rude of me. Of course, it'll be the first time. So Robbie, what else is going on with you? I want to make sure you guys both get to talk about some of the stuff you're doing. So Robbie, what's going on with you right now?
What's going on with me? Well, I could. There's a lot of stuff I could tell. Well, I mentioned before I do the Poker Notes Live app. I also do that Top Pair Home Game Poker podcast. Everyone's welcome to listen. We usually go live. It's pre-recorded, but every Saturday night. That's at toppair.net. I got my blog, cardplayerlifestyle.com. What I do actually in my full-time job, I work for the company that owns pokerupdate.com. And I guess it's a good opportunity to let people know, if you guys are looking to maybe enter event number 64, the online bracelet, there's a really cool exclusive satellite that's being run by pokerupdate.com. All you got to do is pay $10. Just sign up for WSOP.com through them. And, just pay $10. You enter the satellite. If you win, you'll get the seat to the event number 64. So it's a potential overlay, and I don't know if there's going to be 100 people in that event. Good opportunity for anyone who's looking for a easy way to, potentially win that bracelet or at least get a seat in the event.
Nice.
That's not bad.
I'll have to let my roommates know about that. They're both planning on playing in the online event.
Oh, you're going to bring some sharks in there, are you?
Well,
careful.
Between the two of them, they have 5 bracelets, so
Yeah.
they are sharks.
Do you mind if I ask who your roommates are?
My roommates are Eric Froelich and Brock Parker.
I was just going to mention about Efro playing Magic and David Williams and those guys.
And Dave was a former roommate. He moved out recently. Yeah.
Oh, you threw him out, huh?
Oh yeah, out on the street. Replaced him with someone way better at both. Me. No,
that's funny. Well, I always. I've talked to Eric on the show about the Magic and what that game brings to poker and how it relates.
Mm-hmm.
Give everybody a little bit of an idea about if they've never played it, what what it is, how it works, and how those skills can carry over into poker.
Don't worry, I'll give you a brief synopsis.
I'm sure you could do it all day.
Worry. Yeah, of course. Magic is the oldest and first and most popular and most successful competitive trading card game ever. So if you've heard of like the Pokemon trading card game or some of the others that have come and gone, Magic was the first one, and it's still the best one, and that's why it's so popular. There's over 20 million people play worldwide. So it's a really big deal. The same weekend of the Colossus, there was the largest Magic the Gathering tournament ever in Vegas that same weekend.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And a bunch of the Magic players double queued with the Colossus, and I was one of them. And that tournament had about 13,000 people in it.
Wow.
And that was over at the Westgate, Las Vegas Convention Center.
Oh, that's incredible.
So the way Magic the skills overlap, but I'll give a brief synopsis of Magic. Basically, if you could shuffle up your baseball card collection and play baseball against someone else and who shuffled up their baseball card collection and played a game of baseball, that's Magic, except for with like a D&D theme.
Right.
So a lot of the skills are the same. You have hidden information. You have all 4 types of information. You have the hidden information that no one knows. You have the information that both players know. You have your information. You have your opponent's information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have all 4 types of information, and you're trying to take advantage of a common board, just like you do in poker. You have to pay attention to patterns and try to figure stuff out. The skills aren't identical. Reading and identifying facial tics and stuff like that is much more important in poker, whereas pattern recognition and what poker players would call betting patterns and putting together a story, that's much more important in Magic. And so the skills are similar, not the same. It's actually really close to Scrabble. I find the skills overlap with Magic very much with Scrabble, and it's a ton of fun, and I love it, and it's what I do with most of my spare time. It's very all-consuming. No one ever really quits playing Magic.
I've noticed that there's no way out.
Yeah, and a lot of the poker players that play poker for a living, they play poker as their job and play Magic for fun because poker is not challenging enough.
Wow.
That's not even an exaggeration. So a lot of I love Magic. It's a ton of fun, and if you ever get a chance to learn it and get some starter decks and mess around at your local comic book shop or something like that, I definitely suggest trying it at least once, seeing what it's all about. And and the other thing is it has a huge overlap with poker. Obviously, we mentioned Brock and Efro and Dave Williams. There's a ton more.
Yeah.
If you know of a pro under the age of like 30 there's a 20% chance that they currently play or used to play Magic. Like Huck Seed recently picked up Magic because his kids started playing.
Oh, wow.
Jesse Sylvia and I were talking about doing a thing called a Cube, which is a Magic format, in a week or two, trying to get something together. So, it's a ton of fun, and it stretches different muscles, and that's why a lot of the poker players love it.
Yeah, always a lot of fun, and
maybe it'll be a new bracelet event.
Oh dear.
Oh dear God! Stop it.
There's been for a long time, the company that owns Magic didn't want to be associated with poker, even though the overlap was huge, and so they never put events in Las Vegas, for example. And they've sort of in the last 5 years or so, they've sort of taken. I mean, they still don't want to be. It's still not gambling. It is still more of a skill game, I think, than poker. I think that the variance is lower in Magic than it is in poker, but they're less scared of the comparison these days, and so they've started putting events in Las Vegas.
It's been interesting to see. There've been a lot of those events get live streamed all the time too,
absolutely.
which is fascinating to watch it. I mean,
that's what I used to do for a living. I used to commentate Magic the Gathering events.
Nice.
So.
I mean, I just think back to the days of the old Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and I'd be like, oh my God, if this would have been, we could have done that when I was a kid. Oh, that would have been so awesome. We'd have been painting our figures even tighter, man. Making sure everything's just right.
I don't think that you can paint a deck of cards and then have the dealer use that, but that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
One of the ideas I had was, because there's so many players here that I know, I was going to try to, for every card in the 52 card deck, I was going to be like, which player is best known for which card, right?
Okay.
And be like, all right, which 10 did Doyle have in the 10-2 offsuit, right? There were two 10-2 offsuits. If the 10 was the same or the 2 was the same, definitely get him to sign that one, right?
Right.
And then one of the aces is an ace on the river for Barry Greenstein, and go through the whole deck and figure out who's most known for which card and get the entire deck signed, and just have that as a thing that I play with.
There you
I think
go.
would be hilarious.
That would be cool. What would Jamie Gold be?
Joker.
Jamie's a good friend of mine. I can't bust Jamie's chops too much. Everybody else likes to do it, but Jamie's been very good to me. So always got to have. But I have fun with Jamie.
What was the card he revealed? You know the one I'm talking about? That hand where he turned a card face up in the middle of a hand?
Oh,
that would be a
God.
good one to get him to sign.
That would probably be it, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. It was like a King of Hearts or something, I think.
I remember watching that World Series all night when they did the pay-per-view. That was fun. You're laughing, Robbie. There were two of them that they did on pay-per-view. It was awesome. They did that one, and Jerry Yang's win were the two that they did on pay-per-view. The Jerry Yang one took all frickin' night. That was horrible. I mean, I literally fell asleep and woke up when they were. I think they were down to 4, and I woke up. 3, and then they were heads up, but I got in a 2-hour nap, and it was that bad.
Well, that again is the benefit of being 10 hours forward in a different time zone. By me, it was
Yeah,
mid-afternoon. It was great.
Yeah, well, lucky you.
Yeah, he played correctly. Sounds like.
Yes.
By living in Eastern Europe or whatever. I don't know.
He's Jewish.
Israel.
Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That works.
So you know a lot of the guys at 888 that I'm working with.
Sure, 100%. I mean, they're not my best friends or anything.
Sure, but you're aware of
we
them.
speak the same language.
You speak the same. There are only so many guys in the poker industry in Israel, I would assume.
Yeah, there's about
you'd
7.
Be surprised, actually. but yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, we have some bad news.
Oh no.
Jesse Sylvia has been eliminated from the $3,000 no limit hold'em event.
I'm so sad.
So Jesse is out.
Third place, yeah.
So the two toughest names on the board.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
SK
Makes
and
it
Tiago
so much harder to
left.
write up a summary now.
Exactly.
It's not as much fun. I was like when I do live reporting, I get to write summaries about people I know. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, so good run for Jesse Sylvia, but unfortunately no gold bracelet for our good buddy. So
Not yet.
not yet.
He's
but
got one coming.
It's coming though. Yeah.
He's young.
And he's so talented.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
a bright
this,
kid.
This summer, so this is his best result of the summer. So he's got a 3rd. He has a 12th. He has an 18th. He's got a 37th or something, and then another min cash.
Yeah.
So he's cashed
So
5
he's
events.
probably like leading the player of the year race.
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Well, if he's
He's
playing
probably
50
top
Ks,
20.
he's good.
I would bet that this new result gives him top 20.
Yeah, let me.
Okay.
I wonder where he is right now. Let me see. See if I can
He was
find
in
him
like
here.
30th before this event was taken.
Let's see, Dan Kelly, just running down the list here real quick.
Maybe they updated it.
Wait, I had him. I had him, and I lost him there. Where was he? I just saw him. I swear to God. Oh, he's stupid. Too much going on the computer right now. There he is. 47th.
47. So this will jump him.
Oh, yeah.
Third place, give him
Should
a couple
get him-
hundred points probably.
Yeah, should get him in
For the
pushing
3K.
the top 30.
The 3K is a big deal too. Like
Yeah.
everybody plays the 3K. So.
Yeah. So, but well, we'll see where all that stacks out. As, we keep watching that Player of the Year race as well. So, pretty cool stuff. Oh, well, hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I think we had a pretty good show.
Good.
I think
It was a hell of a lot of fun.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great time. Robbie, and of course, once again, make sure you check out that article that Robbie has up on Card Player Lifestyle right now. And don't forget, if you want to make a donation to ALS, Robbie's got links at the bottom of that page for the story. So once again, go to cardplayerlifestyle.com /Gall's Game and Poker Shall Set You Free. Terrific article. And, maybe, Robbie, you ought to be looking at getting that nominated for an award next year.
Nice.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Not bad. And, of course, where can we follow you, buddy?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at MOXREUBY, Mox Ruby. It's a magic
Just
card
did
pun.
it.
Don't worry too much about it. I tweet about any number of things, so if you lose focus, if I lose focus on poker, I apologize. But you can also follow at 888 Poker. I'm doing a lot of the updates here at the World Series, especially during the main event when I'll be following all of the patch players and sponsored players and friends of the website and stuff like that. I'm also writing daily for 888 Poker. If you go to 888poker.com and click on the WSOP 2015 site, or then you can find a bunch of my articles. I did a write-up on Dominic Nietzsche's third place finish and did a little human interest piece on him because I didn't know him that well, but he's super likable, even though he's got that big Don Quixote beard right now.
Yeah.
But he's a super nice guy. I did a write-up on that. I gave some hints as to, like, what are the best restaurants to go to on your dinner break when you only got 90 minutes. You got to be close by, got to be quick. These are the best places to go to. Do stuff like that. I got more articles coming out. I'll do another thing with Jesse, I'm sure. And yeah, I'll be doing articles up until the main event of the World Series. During the main event of the World Series, I'll be tweeting from 888 Poker on their Twitter.
Wow, they give you the Twitter
They
handle.
gave me the blue check mark, yeah.
Nice. There you go.
With great check mark comes great responsibility.
Yes.
But I think that I can wield it. I've been doing okay thus far. We'll see how if they let me keep it, but I'll try. I'll try my best. If you guys are interested in Magic, I do a live podcast Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, called Magic Mics, with Evan Irwin and Aaron Campbell, two other well-known people who are in the Magic community. And also I write a comedy show based on the game Hearthstone, which is another card game, but it's a digital game. And I write an animated comedy series for Tempo Storm, and you can see that on tempostorm.com. If you're interested in any of that or understand any of that, feel free to check that out.
Guys, you can replay this video so you can get all that written down.
Yeah,
at some
exactly.
point.
Basically, but this summer, if you want to see my articles, go to 888poker.com, click on the WSOP 2015 link. I got an article like every day. I feel like I'm a pretty good writer. I hope you guys agree. So check those out.
There you go. Well, guys, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Great show this afternoon. And we'll obviously keep an eye on everything happening at the World Series and be back tomorrow, same time at 2 p.m. So, Robbie, thank you. Ruben, thank you.
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Absolute
Thank you
pleasure.
very much, Mark. It's a pleasure.
All right, guys. So we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to go eat some tacos.
Smart.
Bon appetit, man.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you next time here. Have a great afternoon.